Cooks, welcome back to the Recipe Vault. Today I have these big, huge apples, and I pulled a recipe out of our recipe vault for apple pudding. I don't know what this is. We're going to try this out and find out how it tastes. We're using the KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to be using the shredder attachment, so let's have some fun making this apple pudding. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Okay, so we pulled a recipe out of my handwritten recipe collection. They're basically your grandma's recipe box, right? And we're bringing those to life. So this apple pudding seems kind of like a cake to me. I don't know, but I also developed a sauce to put on top of it, similar to like if we're making a bread pudding. It calls for 4 large apples, and Eric went to the store and brought me these monsters.
Well, she said she wanted a large. These are the biggest they had.
So we're going to be using the KitchenAid to grate them. So we need first to peel them. So I'm just going to use a peeler here. If you have that spiralizer and you're so inclined to just make it a KitchenAid day, you can take that baby out and peel. But it's pretty easy to just do it with a peeler. I don't have my Aldi peeler. It's in the dishwasher. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut the ends off, and we're going to quarter these things. So just going to go like that. We want it the size so it'll fit through the chute on the peeler. I mean on the grater. So I'm just going to do this.
Can it handle that size?
I don't know. Probably. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and dunk these into water, and I'll finish the rest of them. Okay, here we go. I have a full video on this, so I'll link it up here and down there if you want to see how this slicer shredder works. So we're going to put our apples in there. Hopefully they will fit. Ooh. Mm-hmm. I might have a couple pieces that are a little too wide to fit.
We'll just have to eat them.
Yeah. This is a lot easier than catching my knuckles on a hand grater. This is my KitchenAid 7-quart.
Be careful.
Boom, chakalaka. Okay, so here is our apples. Now let's make the cake part. Okay, so let's make our cake. Pudding, apple pudding. Seems like kind of like it's a cake. So butter, sugar. This recipe will be up on my website. We're going to cream those together.
Just give it time. If it's not as soft as you thought it was,
yeah,
maybe the sugar will beat it up a little bit.
My butter wasn't as soft as it should have been. Oh well.
That's okay. KitchenAid show who's boss, right?
So I'm going to add in an egg, beaten, and some vanilla. Kind of a little batter for this big old mixer. Okay, so I'm going to put the apples in next. This recipe is kind of strange because it doesn't have a lot of like flour as much as like a cake. I would think might have like 2 1/4 or something.
Do they expect the apples are going to render out somehow?
Render out?
Do they cook down?
Render out like meat?
Right.
Okay, so our dry ingredients: flour, obviously salt, baking soda, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I think I need a little bit more flour.
Why?
It's really wet. So I'm going to violate all the terms of my agreement here. I'm going to put a little bit more flour in there because it's just, I don't know, because I had so big apples, it's pretty much a globbly mess in there.
Well, we had the apples in water so they don't turn brown.
Yeah. So let's put them in the baking pan. So we have a 9 by 12 pan, unusual size. I actually had one, believe it or not. Usually I'm used to like a 9 by 13. This one calls for a 9 by 12.
Maybe they weren't counting on your apples being as big as they are.
Maybe. Smells like cinnamon.
Oh, that's positive.
Yeah, I don't know in the real world, when you don't have apples the size of basketballs, how much flour you would need. To the oven! 350 for how long?
Take a look in the corner.
350 for 25 minutes.
Yay.
We'll be back. Okay, so I have a little bowl here and I have some sugar and a little bit of cornstarch. So we're going to make our pudding sauce. And our little pudding is out of the oven here. So I'm just going to stir this together. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt in here too. So on the stove here, I'm going to put some milk. And we need to heat this up, not till it's boiling, but we need it to be, you know, really warm.
Scalding hot?
Hot. Hot! But not boiling. Okay, our milk is hot here. We're going to go ahead and put in these dry ingredients. with the cornstarch. And we're just going to stir and stir and stir and stir until it thickens. It's just going to take a couple minutes till that cornstarch decides it wants to grab this and make a sauce. This pan is a saucier.
It's a pretty one. Mm-hmm. Is that thickening up to you, Boo-Boo?
Yeah. And I think we're going to turn the heat off. We're going to drop in some butter.
Yeah.
Okay. And some vanilla.
I'll second that.
And we're going to stir that in. And as soon as this butter melts, we got some pudding sauce.
Ooh.
Pudding sauce. You could put a little brandy in there instead of vanilla.
Well, I was thinking a little gentleman jack might be good. Or wild turkey.
So that's looking pretty good. Okay, here is our apple pudding. And here's our pudding sauce. We're going to go ahead and pour this on. I put it into a measuring cup, like a pie.
I'll give you a spoiler alert.
He basically licked the pan.
I licked the countertop.
We're going to go ahead and spread this around. Pudding, apple pudding with pudding sauce. There you go, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eric wants a taste of this. Okay, so let's take a cut here. Do you want a big piece, Boo, or a small piece? Small?
Well, it's just more the merrier later, right? Like 5 minutes after you serve it to me. Oh, that looks nice.
So that's how it looks. Yeah. Pudding. And we're going to go give him a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo. Woohoo. Okay, come on over, Boo.
Sure.
Okay, Boo, you can eat the apple pudding. I'm getting apple pie because I can't eat that. Mine fell apart a little bit, and I have a little sore back.
So first of all, I want to thank Amy for all her hard work here.
They're good, bro.
Because it was a little bit of work making all this.
Your ice cream's melting.
Yeah, ice cream a little bit. The sauce does taste a little like pudding. It tastes a little like tapioca without the actual bumps of tapioca. So is that why they call it pudding? Because it's creamy enough to kind of remind you of pudding? Who knows?
Well, it's sauce that kind of maybe goes over a bread pudding. Because I made a bourbon version one time.
So
that was pretty good.
So the apples with the cinnamon, it's the apple version of eating like pumpkin bread. It's that good. It does. I mean, I'm like, so you have a lot of that flavor going on. The sauce is sweet, but not too sweet. It's not, bad. It's a really good balance.
It looks really moist.
It is hecka moist without being bad. So it has texture, but it's very flavorful. The sauce has just enough has just enough vanilla where you say, oh, do I need more vanilla? No, it's good. And then...
So is it a winner?
Oh, heck yeah, it's a winner.
Thanks, Recipe Vault. Thanks for joining us. We got to go finish our dessert.
Mm-hmm.